Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Candy here. Happy New Year again. 2021 is upon us and it is a year for me where I want to get back in touch with my gratitude practice, which I started last year and it kind of just petered out for no particular reason. All of a sudden I realised I wasn't doing gratitude anymore. And then the lovely Jen over at Science to Soul Tarot and Transformation, she started another gratitude challenge on YouTube, which has just been so fantastic. 7 days of gratitude. It did start on the 1st, but if anybody wants to join in, I think you could just do 7 days whenever. So that's what this is. It's my 7 days of gratitude. What happened? And I'm calling it Shallow Tarot Deep Gratitude. I wanted to just pull a card and grab just the very first thing I saw. Whatever that thing is, that's what I go for. Not to sit with a deep meaning, not to study a guidebook, just to pull a card, look at it, first thing. To see where that would take me, whether that would take me into fun gratitude, shallow gratitude, surface gratitude for something little, or even deep gratitude. And it kind of was a mixture of both. And the understanding that even something really shallow and everyday, there is deep gratitude to be found in it. In fact, I think it's those tiny everyday objects or everyday occurrences that kind of can hold the deepest gratitude if you open your eyes and look, because those are the things we're surrounded by all the time. So I decided to use one of the last decks that came into my collection last year, the Mystical Dream Tarot, which also links into a dream practice that I want to start this year. This is a beautiful, beautiful deck. So I pulled a card a day. So should we get going? 7 days of gratitude. Here we go. So day one, we've got card 11, which is the Sophia card, which in this deck is what the Strength card is called. And I focused in on the cup. So look at this glorious collection. Where to start? Let's have a look at this Peppa Pig mug. This is one that Tilly had when she was a real little baby. She still loves Peppa Pig now. Now we don't drink out of it. I use it to scoop my washing powder out, but I love it. And then staying on the kiddie theme, we've got all the mugs that the kids have done over their years in primary schools that were sold as Christmas presents. And oh yeah, just look at that. We've got a reindeer with boobs. That's one of Busby's presents to me. We've got another picture of Busby's as well. There's Santa. Oh, just lovely memories and all of those. And then the mugs with the letter C on for my name, Candy. Those of you who've been watching my channel for a while might know that I changed my whole name. Oh, and this mug's so special. Poppy bought me this on a school trip. I gave her money for the school trip and she spent it all on this mug for me because the kids loved my name change and they supported me even in the face of other family members not. Oh, and McDonald's collectibles. I have a few of these out in my greenhouse. I love these Mr. Men mugs. And I'm not a royalist, but I love celebratory royal mugs as well. I bought a load of these in a charity shop where the manager there I actually ended up dating for over a year, which was a disaster, but that's another story. This is one of the latest mugs I bought this year as well. And yeah, I just love those. They're so kitsch. I love them. And what now? Oh yeah, the story of dating the manager of the charity shop. He turned up on one of my holidays with my kids and overstayed his welcome, and it's when we fell out. And the day I asked him to go home was the day I then took my kids in relief to a pottery workshop and I painted this mug, and it says "Fly Free" on the back. Yeah, I think that kind of sums up where our relationship was going. But this owl mug and its "Fly Free" motto has a big place in my heart. And then my charity shop buy of 2020, it's my tarot desk mug with a built-in saucer to stop any drips from getting on my tarot table and spoiling the cards after my disaster with my Raven's Prophecy tarot, but that's another story. So that's the gratitude held in the mugs that I drink out of everyday magic, everyday gratitude with every sip of dark black coffee. Day 2, the Hanged Man. And in this card, it was the clock at the top that caught my attention. Clocks and watches. Oh, my lounge clock. Tilly made this sitting in a sunny field at a festival called the Lunar Festival. And every time I look at this clock, it reminds me of taking my children to festivals. After I divorced, we started doing this sort of thing. I bought a tent and we went to local festivals every year. It reminds me of dressing up. It reminds me of fields full of tents and of being brave and of dancing and bands and creating things in tents and in fields, and just the dress up and the animal tribes and mass pillow fights in fields and woodlands full of fairy queens to meet and fairy parades and stories around campfires and outdoor cinemas in the middle of trees. It reminds me of marches of the animals and the shows we've seen, the lantern walks we've been on, and just the joy of having these 3 children with me, exploring life together and having fun. So Tilly's clock in the lounge, which is painted onto a vinyl record, is just so precious to me. It holds memory that is just treasured. And then my kitchen clock, cheap and little and the perfect match to my dream fridge, my Smeg fridge. I am so grateful. I'm also quite grateful for the fact I've got a broomstick on top of the fridge and a giant wooden ruler, but there you go. But yeah, I am so grateful. I treated myself to this Smeg fridge when I bought the house, and it sat for years in amongst a building site because I bought it first because I knew I'd run out of money. So I love both of these 2 pink items in my life. And can I just say that I washed the fridge just for you guys? That's how dedicated to your viewing pleasure I've become. I thought about this card all night and decided to film this in the morning. What the hell? So you have to excuse the unshowered, unprepared look. But I brought you up to my room because my jewellery's up here and I wanted to show you the watches that I've got. One of my favourite watches, this ring watch with a rabbit on, and that kind of sums up what I love about watches. Also, one of my other favourite watches is this Barbie watch. Little kiddie. To be honest, the only thin part of my entire body are my wrists. I have very thin wrists that I can fit kids jewellery on, so result. And then this watch I absolutely love. I bought this to my daughter and she never wears it, and it's one where you just press the front, and it lights up with numbers. Again, there is no battery in this. It makes me realise how little I wear my watches. And then a watch that mocks me, my Garmin running watch. This used to be my main watch because I used to run 50 plus miles a week. I used to race half marathons and 10Ks. But I haven't run for years. I have been in a slump, and this has sat uncharged for a long time now. Perhaps 2021, it's time to get this watch back out. Also have a trigger watch, which is the last gift my mum bought me for my 50th, before I went no contact with her. It's a nice watch, but it would have been nicer if it had been given to me on a day that the family was celebrating with my twin brother. But I was excluded from that day, and this was given to me on a day when nobody else was around because I wasn't welcome. So I might get rid of this one. I'm grateful for skinny wrists. I'm grateful that there's a possibility of getting back into running. I'm grateful for bunny rings. And I'm grateful for no contact. Oh, and then day 3 card, the lovers. This did make me go, oh no, when I pulled it out. And I looked at it and I thought, oh, what to be grateful for here. And I have to admit, it was the position of the woman over the guy who's unmoving that caught my eye. And it just made me think about all the partners and the lovers that I've walked away from in my life. And I had to think about the deep gratitude that I have for those really hard-won lessons, the gold that I mined within the hardest moments of walking away, within the moments where you know something's dead and gone and you push yourself up from the dirt and you carry on. I think those lessons are life lessons that I couldn't have learned any other way, and I will be forever grateful for. So day 4, I pulled the Moon Chariot card and I looked at the chariot and it immediately made me think about Tilly's wheelchair and how grateful I am to have had that over the years. For when Tilly is too tired to walk with her syndrome, it's allowed us to do so many things we couldn't have done as a family otherwise. Like here, going round the most amazing festival of street art. But then I took another look and I realised it was the older lady in the chair. It was me in the chair and Tilly pushing me. And it made me think about the times that Tilly's pushed me into vehicles, like this canoe at her school regatta. She didn't want to get in unless Mom came, so Mom had to come out of the crowd, take her green suede shoes off and get into the canoe and join the school rowing team. And we won, and it was spectacular, and it was one of the most amazing moments we've ever had together. So I pull yet another major card. This is card 13. It is the Wise Fox, which is the death card in this deck. And I was immediately drawn to the skeleton, which made me think about the book that I've been reading this week while I've been filming these videos, which is the incredible Blossoms and Bones, a graphic memoir by Kim Kranz. Now, you'll probably all know that Kim Kranz is the creator of The Wild Unknown, and I am just so grateful for her body of work. Not only her artwork, but her writing as well. In this memoir, she explores her recovery from an eating disorder that she fell into after divorce, which again is a story that mirrors my own. And I have to say, reading this memoir, it ripped my soul out. I related on so many levels, and I'm just so grateful for her bravery to create a piece of work like this. Okay, for day 6, I pulled the Spirit of Swords, which in this deck is what the Knight of Swords is called. And of course, it had to be that card because for me, the Knight of Swords is my narcissist card for me. And I saw the flames on the head and I saw it next to the feathers. And I just thought, oh my goodness, this is talking about my recovery and my divorce and walking away from narcissistic abuse, and how the Morrigan came to me and how I found feathers everywhere and how the Morrigan supported me through my divorce, and how grateful I am for a very real and tangible and supportive deity in my life when I really, really needed some help to recover. You can see on the mess of my desk here, I have black feathers everywhere. I use this black feather for writing poetry to the Morrigan and to leave offerings on my goddess altar. Yeah, I'm just really grateful for all of this. And day 7, we end on another major card 3, the Dream Carrier, which of course is the Empress card. And I am thrilled to end this week, Jen, on the Empress card. And I see the little boy with his feet in the water, getting his feet wet. And it just reminds me of how grateful I am for the times that me and my 3 glorious kids have laughed on the beach and have got our feet wet together. Whether that be the nighttime walks from our caravan in Wales, our nighttime walks with crazy dogs, paddling in the ocean, or walking through sand dunes to watch sunrises or sunsets, whether it be the riverside picnics or the times that I've convinced Tilly to be brave and come down for a paddle, It's just wonderful. So it was just a lovely way to end this week. So thank you, Jen, and I will link all of Jen's links down below for anybody else to go and take part. I think that gratitude, any way you want to do it, is just an amazing practice, and I've really loved it. So thanks guys for watching, and I will see you next time.